into the game, because here we are. Game number 5 then, between the Tyrant Warlords and the Tyrant Legends in the War is Coming Round 2 Grand Final stage. What's this? This is game number 14 in total. We're powering through. We've got a lot of games to go, but a lot of games behind us as well. And this one here going to be on Arena for this this awesome 3v3. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one goes. And if I remember correctly, we'll see non-mirror civs, or like sorry, maybe not non-mirror civs. I can't remember. It's either non-mirror civs or it's team random for this one. But it should be interesting either way, because we're not going to see those standard combinations of Mayans, Mongols, Huns, Persians, or, yeah, Chinese. So it should be good, and we'll introduce the players, see where they're at on the map. So on the southwest of the... No, it's not. I'll stop there before I go wrong anymore. The southeast of the map, in the teal, we've got the Viper, and he is playing as the Turks. Unusual to see him playing as the teal here. Seems like Riot's claimed the yellow colour this game. And he's on that flank position. In the pocket position for his team, they've got Jordan 23. He's in the green as the Spanish. And on the left in the blue, we've got... Cab as the Saracens on the left flank. So it's Saracens, Spanish, and Turks. Unusual civ combination, but that's because these guys weren't allowed to choose their civilizations this game. They weren't allowed to choose, so they're forced to play with the Turks, which is good for us because we like to see some variety every now and again. So I'm not complaining this game, which is nice. On the other side of the map for the Tyrant Warlords even, in the yellow on the right flank, we've got Riot, and he's playing as the Turks. In the pocket position, we've got Fire in the red playing as the Saracens. And on the left flank, we've got Slam in the purple playing as the Spanish. So again, it is mirror civs, but we will see different civs, sort of. The Turks here, the first appearance probably in the tournament so far, because... no one picks the Turks if they get the option. Turks are a risky civ. In a 1v1, they're really bad. I mean, in my ranking, I put the Turks at the very, very bottom of the pile of all AOC civilizations, just because of their heavy reliance on gold. In 1v1, yeah, it's tough. It's tough in a 1v1 because you can't generate gold. In a team game, where you can trade, and there's probably going to be an abundance of gold. Well, there's never an abundance of gold, but when there's more gold, you can do a lot better with the Turks. They are a very good civilization in that situation. But my rankings for the civs was based on 1v1 full random, and for me, the Turks just don't stack up nearly well enough against any other civ. But yeah, obviously in team games, Turks are awesome, and their unique technology, giving their bombard cannons more range, that's awesome. And you know, they're good on team game situations. They're obviously the Saracens, a massive late game powerhouse. The Spanish, again, a very good late game powerhouse. This is a nice combination of civs because we've got a paladin civ, the Spanish. They can also make bombard towers, of course, which is always good for the team game late game. We've got the Saracens, which of course the siege onager civ, as well as the camel and the Mameluke civ. That Camels, fantastic against other paladins, of course, and then the Mamelukes, which just are insanely good. And then the Turks, which is the gunpowder civ, which can, you know, give that really long range bombard cannon fire. They can put their bombard towers up as well, and of course they've got their Janissaries to support the main army. It's a real good, powerful combination of civs, but only for the late game. In the early game, on an open map, these civs are pretty trash. To be honest with you, I mean, if you put this on an Arabia map, these three civs are probably one of the worst three civs you could get on an open Arabia map, just because of their early game weaknesses, which, you know, it's not so great. But either way, mirror civs anyway, and I'll be interested to see the strategy for this game. Generally speaking, it's going to be a boom. No need to wall because the walls are already there, and then from then on, who knows? It could be a castle drop. It could be something entirely different. But look at this. Fire being a bro, trying to Fire's just pushing Riot's deer in towards the wall for him. Viper sees it. He's like, no, we're not having that. And Riot comes out to help, pushes the deer away. What a shame, but Viper's having to go back there. And you know, one of the interesting things about Arena is the way that in 1v1 it is played so differently to in team game. In a 1v1 you usually see like the Aztecs, and they just, you know, players like Eddie or whatever, they'll go out and get the relics and collect them up really quickly, and then there'll be a lot of siege, there'll be a lot of monks and all that jazz. In team game it's very different to that. You would see very, you know, fast castle times, a bit of a boom, maybe a castle drop if they feel like they want to go for that risky strat, and from then on, it could get very interesting. But look at this. They're already spoon-feeding the Turks. The Turk player here having his deer lured in for him. And, you know, it would be interesting to see if we're going to see like a sling towards the Turk player here. The Turks, of course, one of the best civs to do a fast Imperial with, because they're insanely... Oh my god, look at this deer. It just doesn't want to be lured. And now Jordan's over here to try and prevent that from happening as well. They're both going to come in. Jordan and Viper are going to try and snipe this scout from fire. I can't believe that. That's ridiculous. I don't know why Riot doesn't lure his own deer. But either way, none of those deer managing to make it through the walls anyway. Regardless of that, Riot here looking to fast castle, of course, but fast Imperial, that could work out very well, because they don't need to research chemistry. So the Turks, fast Imperial, they just whack down a siege workshop, and then they're pumping out bombard cannons, and they go for a very, very high, very fast aggression. The Turk player for the Tyrant Warlords is Riot, and the Turk player, of course, for the Legends is the Viper. Now, we've seen the Viper do a fast Imperial before, on Black Forest, I believe, as the Turks as well, and sorry, as the Aztecs, but it did work out really well for him. He's up to feudal on 24 pop, which is quite low, and I can only assume then that we're going to see some resources being sent his way at some point. The question is, from who? Well, the Saracens have absolutely no eco bonus. Many civs have an eco bonus. You know, the Spanish, they have the trade bonus. You know, like the Mayans have their 20% longer resource gathering. You know, the Franks just there's a lot of resource bonuses out there, but the Saracens have absolutely nothing. So it would be, I think, interesting to see the Saracens sling. I don't think that would happen. I think it's more common or more likely to see a Spanish sling, but we'll see. We could, of course, bear in mind that the Saracens have a good market. We could see that, but we'll see them fast castle first, no doubt, before any sling comes in. And then the question remains if they will sling at all. I just want to keep an eye out on the Turk players here, in case they're planning to do some kind of, you know, mad fast castle kind of thing. Viper going up to the castle age pretty quickly. I think he's going to be the first one up, and that's been the case with many of these games. That last game he was the first up. The game before that was deathmatch. The game before that he was the first up. So I think it would be more likely then for the Viper to continue on this path of being the fastest up to the next stage. Yeah, people saying in the chat that the Saracens get the market bonus. Of course they get the market bonus, but I wouldn't class that as a direct economy bonus. It doesn't affect their villages. That to me is a true eco bonus. But of course the Saracen market can be used to do a really fast Imperial time as well, and to, you know, switch things around a bit, but we'll see what happens. Riot up to feudal now, quite slow in comparison to the Viper, but then again, 27 population for him versus Viper's 26. Viper's already halfway to castle though. That's insane. How's he done that? It's like 13 minutes and 25 seconds and Viper's already halfway to castle. That's mental. That is absolutely mental. It looks like he did take his deer, which is always a good thing, of course. Adding in a lot of farms here. Not so much on the wood, and he's taking a lot of gold as well. So this to me says he's not looking to get a second town centre at all. This to me says he is looking to get to the Imperial Age or do some aggression. But because he's not taking any stone, that means he's probably not going to be doing any aggression. We may see him utilize the market to sell some stone or something like that, to get to the Imperial Age even faster. Maybe sell some stone, buy some food. But we will see. Either way, it's going to be pretty blazingly fast. And there's Cab's sling. Cab there, as the Saracens, sending some resources to the Viper, sending him a lot of food, a lot of stone. And Viper now with 750 stone, a little bit more stone coming in, a little bit more wood coming in. He could sell 100 stone, and he's nearly got 1,000 food. But no, he's going to put up a castle, and that's going to be his castle age building. And then he's going to have a little bit more gold income required. Turks, of course, get their gold gathering bonus, which helps them to get a little bit more gold in. And then that castle goes up, and we'll see Viper into the Imperial Age pretty damn quickly. Now, Riot here, where is he? Going up to the Castle Age, slowly but surely. And we've got Fire slinging Riot. Well, there you go. Fire slinging Riot. Slam, still in the feudal age by the looks of things. Slam's what? 32 population, still feudal? What's going on here then? Jordan 23 already dropping a castle on him. My oh my. My oh my. Look at this. What is going on, Slam? What's going on over here? I don't actually know, but this seems really weird. Maybe Slam slung something to Riot as well then, because he's got a market. Yep, that's it. Look at that. Slam and Riot are both... Sorry, Slam and Fire are both slinging Riot right now. Slam and Fire are both slinging Riot. That's insane. So both of them sending everything they've got to Riot. Slam, meanwhile, being castle dropped by Jordan 23. That's probably not going to be so successful because the wall up behind this is coming in. But that's just ridiculous. Riot here probably going to have so many resources very soon. He's clicked up to Imp. And he's on the way up. But by comparison to the Viper, he is slow. Viper's already up now. He's already got a castle as well, bear in mind. And he's already started that Janissary production, which is a big deal. So, kind of weird. Obviously, Cab is sending his resources to Viper here. And Jordan's just doing that castle drop. So his castle drop, probably going to bring down a stone wall if he focuses it down, but he's probably not going to get into Slam's base in a hurry. Slam's going to have to be forced to wall up like this. I don't know why he doesn't wall this way instead of walling all the way along here. But that's keeping the pressure on, and these guys are seriously taking a big risk. They are relying on Riot here so heavily. They are basically saying, Riot, have all of our resources and win the game for us. Riot's on 28 pop at the moment, and he's feeling the pressure because Viper's got map control right now, and he is going to be, well, in prime position to strike. He's got his siege workshops ready. Question is, who will come out on top? Viper with a single sling or Riot with a double sling? I guess time will tell. But at the moment, Viper's just taking so much gold. And that is expected. You need a lot of gold as the Turks. You need a lot of it. Their obviously bombard cannons costing a lot. Their Janissaries, their hand cannons costing a lot. But no archery range from the Viper here. Which means he could get quite quickly outproduced by Riot, who's got 3-4 archery ranges on the way. But Viper... gonna get through this wall pretty quickly. There he is into the Imperial Age. The first thing he did was cue a bombard cannon. And there it is. Bombard cannon coming out. The wall is breached and Riot could not do anything to stop that because he had no units. And he is now forced to quick wall up. Try and stop these Janissaries getting any further. Whilst he is a few seconds away from the Imperial Age. There he goes into Imp. He's got 1,000 food, 1,000 gold. Viper's just gonna blast his way through these houses. There we go. One more shot, and he's through. And now we're seeing 4 hand cannons coming through, but Riot's made a critical error. He's got housed, and that means that his units are slower to come out. Bombard cannon on the way for Riot as well. Lots of resources. Loads of resources. We've got a second bombard cannon coming out for the Viper here as well. And Jordan now, look at this. 3 layers of wall from Slam. No problem. Jordan just going to keep the pressure on with a ram. But Viper's in. He's got his 2 bombard cannons and he's going to bring down these archery ranges. Riot's economy is incredibly fragile right now. He's bringing up his second TC and a bunch of houses at the back to stop himself getting housed. But his economy is very fragile. And, you know, he can't afford to replenish these archery ranges at this rate. He's got no wood income. He has got some wood income, but it's practically nothing. So Viper's going to bring down this siege workshop. And all of these resources that are being sent to Riot at the moment are being wasted. But at the moment as well, Viper's still only producing Janissaries from one castle, whereas Riot has got 3 ranges. Problem is, he's playing from behind. Viper's already got a lot of Janissaries out. And Riot here releasing the hand cannons rather. He has got the better upgrades. He's got more defense upgrades here, which is great. And he's going to send Viper back for now, by the looks of things. But still, he's got to be careful. This could be pretty close. This is very, very crucial for Riot here. He just has to defend. So he's going to get his siege workshop up. But my concern is over here. Slam sending everything he's got to Riot, hoping that Riot can win the game for them. And of course, even if Riot here does great and he, he takes out Viper's stuff, if he pushes Viper right back, that's fantastic. But that's not going to change the fact that Slam is going to lose his TC any minute now. The fact that Slam has built 3 watchtowers even to try and defend his economy against this pretty small force from Jordan 23. Jordan 23, meanwhile, he's been booming up a little bit. He's got his 2nd TC up and 3rd TC up now, whilst keeping that pressure on as well. And Riot on the right side, sure, he's got Viper on the back foot. That's great. But Viper here only just has to defend now, I feel. These guys are playing a seriously risky strategy. Viper's also got +2 range on his bombard cannons. That's the unique tech for the Turks. We're not seeing that from Riot at the moment because Riot does not have a castle, remember. So that is giving Viper's bombard cannons a small advantage here. Of course, trying to get out of the way of those hand cannons. I think Riot's build order here, not build order, but his army composition is nice. It certainly works well. But at the moment, he cannot get close to this castle, whilst Viper has the range advantage on these bombard cannons. And that is not going to change in a hurry. So Viper's outnumbering him with bombard cannons, and I think that's the key here. The key is making sure that those bombard cannons have the range advantage for Viper. He's going to do what he can to damage what he can, and look at that. Bosh. Some really good damage done by those guys. And that's a good amount of damage there from those cannons. Flashing a bunch of Janissaries, hand cannons very, very quickly. Uh-oh. One cannon down for Riot. And Riot cannot afford to leave these cannons stationary for any amount of time. Down it goes. 2 down. And it's GG. Right there with that bombard cannon going down. That is GG. Bosh. Down goes his hand cannons. And these guys just... What was that? What was that? The double sling to the Turk player, who then proceeds to do very little with it. The key there, I think, was the +2 range on the bombard cannons from Viper, allowing him to just stop that push dead in its tracks from Riot. Of course, he was able to start pulling down or bringing down these hand cannons very easily. Riot was struggling. Jordan 23 was coming over with some conquistadors. Meanwhile, Slam's base was wrecked. And in this position, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? But yeah, let's just double sling the Turks, because that makes so much sense. The problem is, if the Turks weren't slung, and the other team did get a slung Turk, then Riot would be booming up on 3 TCs or whatever. He'd be minding his own business, and suddenly he's going to have a breach in his wall, and Viper's going to come through with a bunch of Janissaries like he did. So it's either sling or die. That's the kind of situation we're seeing at the moment. And at the moment, Legends doing pretty damn good there. Obviously, Viper able to make a little bit more out of his sling than Riot was. So there you have it. Game number 5, going to go to